Walking up to where his house sat for 115 years, Norman Spencer saw his basement in the light of day for the first time.
Boy, they really kind of cleaned that out, didn't they?
His longtime house sat next to the basement on a trailer, ready to be moved. Built in 1891, this giant Victorian home on 6th Avenue in Des Moines has always been a one-of-a-kind head-turner. Norman and his wife Zilpha bought it in 1956 for $20,000.
We had made several trips to Europe, and we liked castles, and we thought this looked a lot like a castle.
Zilpha gave singing and acting lessons in the home for decades. There was plenty of room for performances and lots of space for entertaining. But the house always brought mixed reviews from its guests.
When my wife's students would come, the boys all loved the house, but the girls didn't care much about it. So my wife said it's a man's house.
The dark, ornate woodwork gave the three-story home a heavy, well-built feel.
It was not frilly and, like women have stuff.
Zilpha passed away in 2000, so when neighbors started selling their homes to Mercy Medical Center last year, Norman knew it was time.
We had completed our tour of duty here, so
he sold it to Mercy for $130,000. But while Norman was okay with the home becoming a Mercy parking lot, a group of 38 investors led by Sherman Hill preservationist York Tanzer was not.
The woodwork is spectacular, the staircase, the stained glass windows, the fireplaces, the original tile. There's no other house like it in this city, I know for sure.
Mercy agreed to sell the home to this partnership of investors for $1. And just like that, the home had a second life. Sounds so simple, doesn't it? Of course, the house would need to be moved a mile to the west to an empty lot in Sherman Hill. Preparation began back in May. The house would move in one piece. Individual stones along the exterior would each go separately. Carefully removed and labeled to be reassembled later.
Well, I hope they don't break it when they move it.
Ready to roll. Ready to roll. Finally, midnight, July 25th. Surrounded by flashlights and cameras.
It's like a military mission. You just got it all planned to the T.
Kinter Construction out of Des Moines and an out-of-state house-moving company finally began the inch-by-inch, one-mile move of Norman Spencer's old home, along with a neighboring house that was also being saved.
You're good on the passenger side.
House moving is definitely not an exact science.
Got an inch to spare. Oh.
How far was he from the light?
Close enough.
But everyone involved has the same goal.
Making sure that we don't run into anything.
To avoid any hazards, workers from Mid-American Energy and Mediacom Cable are removing wires, power poles, and whatever else is in the way. And every street they performed in front of enthusiastic onlookers and some insomniacs.
Wow, that's just something. It really is.
And normally you don't see something like this every day.
I used to take voice lessons from her, so it has a lot of memories.
Even at 2 in the morning on a workday.
We kept the kids up.
Just another hang-up.
A power outage in another part of the metro required Mid-American to keep two main lines connected, so one was raised up by two cherry pickers, the other was lowered, and the houses passed between.
Looking good, John.
The route even crossed over 235. You can only guess what any first-time visitors must have been thinking. It was a memorable sight on a memorable night.
Take all these on down to the front.
When the house finally got to Sherman Hill, workers had to negotiate a median while protecting an irrigation system with plywood. And they had to keep running narrow planks from the back of the truck to the front in order to keep the outer wheels on the same level as the inner wheels.
Be glad when it's done.
It was a long 6 hours, but the address, 829 16th Street, has a new old home already up for sale.
You might say the curtain went down on its previous location and a new show was started.
With photojournalist Brad Argo, Mark Tauschek, Channel 13 News.